You will have heard that him over there in the land of the free has cancelled restrictions on greenhouse gases and pollution in the US that were brought in by President Obama, who deserves his full title, in 2007. Trump has, of course, famously said that climate change is fake news and a con, and this latest move will supposedly create more jobs if industries which had been declining can be revived. It'll mean that more good old-fashioned polluting cars can be produced more cheaply without all of that no longer needed filtering stuff. Basically, the law that said greenhouse gases endangered public health has been repealed so that they now apparently don't endanger health in America. Carbon emissions have been falling both there and in Europe, but not in China and in India particularly, where of course we have effectively outsourced most of the polluting industries and, Trump would argue, Western blue-collar jobs. Here we're being pushed to buy electric cars, to use solar panels and heat pumps. But these have to be made somewhere, and I'm sure a Jeremy Clarkson fan near you could tell you how much more pollution is created in the making of your EV and producing the electricity for it than is saved by the petrol you don't burn in driving it. So why bother? Why bother with all that recycling we're now forced to do by whoever your local council has subbed out your bin collections to? It too all gets shipped to China or somewhere far away and dumped in the sea, doesn't it? Not having herds of cattle everywhere pumping out methane just means we're buying meat and milk from somewhere else and, once again, shipping the problem overseas into the back garden of someone poorer, who probably doesn't have a back garden. And here we go. What's the point of investing in ethical, responsible, sustainable funds? What can they do to save anything, let alone the planet, when those who can really make a difference, the ones who really rule the world, Trump and Xi and Putin, don't give a proverbial you-know-what about global warming? Well, here's what I'd say. Just one life. If there are thousands or millions starving or threatened by war or famine, you or we might not be able to stop the war or feed them all. But surely it's better to help or save just one or two, if we can, than none. If you invest in a fund that avoids polluting, carbon-emitting industries, you're balancing against those who don't care. If that same fund invests in a company which recycles rubbish properly, that's surely making a difference. Some examples of positive impact investments: investing in companies which make a difference from funds we support, Xylem, which develops technology to treat wastewater and promotes sustainable water management, which will chime with anyone like me paying money to Thames Water. And, well, there are dozens of other similar case studies covering healthcare here and in poorer countries, affordable housing, real affordable housing, not just a few cheap properties thrown onto an estate to get planning permission, technology which helps industries reduce pollution. Now, without the sort of funds and fund managers who invest in these companies would not be able to do what they do. And so redirecting your pension or your savings, which might otherwise not necessarily be doing good stuff, to companies which are at least trying, you really can, I think, do more than you can by putting your plastic bottles in the right bin. Although, don't stop doing that. Here's some not fake and really genuine news for you. If you invest £100,000 in ethical funds, you can save 64 tonnes of carbon emissions compared with a conventional fund. And it's 50 times more effective than going vegan, which is far more complicated than switching your pension fund.